You know, one thing I've caught flack for in the past, and I'll probably continue catching flack for in the future, from people who I do not think their opinions matter that much, is a good way of putting it. I have caught flack for my unironic support of defunding the educational industrial complex within this country. Now, that is a lot of big words. That is a lot of big words that can really be simplified. I really catch a lot of flack for saying that I think we give people who are considered educators way too much credit. You know, I hate with a viscera the education apparatus in America, and you know, if I had my way, I think that every teacher in the United States, whether they were good or bad, because you know, in my opinion, you know, I am A-tab, you know, all teachers are bad, I think that they would be out on the streets looking for a job, you know, hitting the unemployment line, if you understand my meaning. And that might sound a little harsh, that might sound a little brutal, but I'm just telling you, it's like the teachers themselves, the grassroots kind of teaching community, will refer to it as, they have been complicit and not even that, facilitating basically the destruction of America's education system over the last 100 years or so. You know, just think about it. Just not only is it the fact that there's like you know, the type of information that you're learning, all right, not very useful. It is the memorization of useless information. It's like you go in, and I understand you need to teach people how to write, you need to teach them how to read at above like a third grade level or something like that, and you need to teach them basic math skills so that they can function within like regular life in society. But everything past that is sort of not really too necessary. I mean, I can understand the purpose of teaching people like American history and whatnot so that you know where you came from and where you can go from there. But like, you know, I remember that I was made to take an earth, space, and physics class one time, and I don't care about any of those things, all right? I don't care about like the geometric, geology, like the rock formation of like the layers of the earth. I don't care about that, all right? I don't care about space. It's dumb. It's a hole to hide your head in because, you know, what is up there that is necessary? I mean, yeah, you can talk about like space mining and whatnot, but I mean, it's just dumb, all right? I don't like it. It's not feasible. It won't be feasible in our lifetimes. And even if we do make it feasible, I mean, there's so many things that are going to go wrong in the process. I feel like we've got issues down here on Earth that we should fix as opposed to like going into space. But that's a rant for another time. And physics, I mean, well, you know, we're sort of just confined by the laws of physics. I don't really need to know what they are because I live with them constantly, you know? What is the penalty for breaking the laws of physics, all right? Well, you can't, so there aren't really any penalties, all right? I understand gravity, all right? If I jump from a very tall building, I'll probably die, all right? That's really all that you need to know, all right? Force is mass times acceleration. Okay, that's beautiful. That's fantastic. When am I going to use that information, though? You know, me specifically. You know, the man who wanted to be a ditch digger for the longest time now just sits and complains on the internet, makes a drawing from time to time. I mean, come on. Like, I don't need to know any of that information, and it was incredibly useless. But the thing is, every single teacher that I've ever ran into, they get asked this, all right? Every single teacher gets the question, when are we ever going to use this? And then they say, well, it's just in the curriculum. Do you know what that sounds an awful lot like? That sounds an awful lot to me like the Nuremberg defense. Now, I don't want to invoke Godwin's law. I don't want to make a comparison of anyone to a Nazi or Hitler or anything, but I mean, the Nuremberg defense is I was just following orders, and if they are just following orders of teaching people useless crap for a very long time, like way longer than normal, I mean, I'm just telling you, it's like you wasted years of your life, and they're the ones to blame because they're the ones who facilitated it. They can all go just, you know, they can all go get pink slipped, in my opinion. I honestly don't care about them. I'm paying their salary, all right? They might as well get their work put in for them, but, you know, I digress. Another thing that I would like to hark on here, as I stated previously, is that you waste entire years of your life doing this, and it's like, you know, sometimes you get to snap out of it in high school. You know I did to a degree, but, you know, think about it. 7 hours a day, 9 months a year, starting whenever you're around 4 or 5 years old, and it goes on for 12 years, and maybe more if you're going to college, because, you know, college is this whole other, you know, thing. I might touch on that in a little bit, but there's the potential that there could be more mandatory schooling to a degree in the future. There is a legitimate push amongst like these stuffed shirts, these politicians, and these bureaucrats, all right? There is a push to try to mandate more education. You know, they'll say, well, we'll give you college for free, but then it becomes mandatory. I don't like that one bit, because not only does it echo things of like, oh, they're trying to indoctrinate us, but like the less like, you know, tinfoil hat conspiracy angle that I would take on it is that I don't want to go to college, all right? I don't want to go back into education. I don't want to do any of that stuff anymore. You know, it's infantilizing to the populace because you're sitting them down, these grown-ass men and women, these adults, and you're telling them what what they can and can't do for about 4 to 8 more years at a time if it's mandatory. I don't like that one bit. I don't like that at all in the slightest. I think that it's dumb, and I think that anyone who tries to advocate for it is on the payroll of either these like government agencies that are trying, like Department of Education or some shit like that, or the colleges themselves. All right, I think that they're getting money under the table, or they're getting money funneled to them in some degree, or some sort of like perk, all right, that insiders only have. And I think that they're doing it specifically for their own personal gain, and they don't give a shit about you, your education, or where you're going to be spending your time. I look at it this way. I got told a lot that you were going to have to go to college, all right, whenever you were older, so that you could get a good job, or so that you could get a job where you weren't going to be breaking your back every day or something like that. That is a fallacy right there. In some way, shape, or form, that's got to be a fallacy, all right? Because it's like these people who are like, they went to college themselves, and they're trying to tell you that you have to go to college to get a good job, but their job sucks or something like that. Maybe it's like what is it called? What is it called? Stockholm syndrome or something like that? What is that? Like someone who doesn't get enough education, so they try to force education on someone. Would that be like Munchausen syndrome by proxy or something like that? These are big words, all right? These are a lot of words that I don't really know the concrete definitions for. But what I'm trying to say is that education in this country, the education apparatus, the education industrial complex, as it has been dubbed by myself and a couple other people, it peddles debt from a very young age, and this primes the youth of the country for a life of financial slavery. And, I've told this story before, I'll tell it briefly here again. I remember distinctly one of the most pivotal moments in my young life was whenever I was in middle school in 6th grade. I was around 10 or 11 years old, I don't remember which, and I was sitting there in an art class. Now, art was not a, that was what was referred to as like a specials class or something like that. It's like you go in there and you draw something and it's not necessary to your curriculum. But I'm sitting there in this art class, and a guidance counselor comes up to me and says, you need to write down what college you want to go to, because we're all filling out paperwork that says what college we want to aim for, so that we can get your paperwork and put you on this certain path whenever you grow up. And I said, well, I don't want to go to college. She said, okay, I can work with that. Just write something down and we won't talk about it. So I wrote down the college that my mom was going to at the time. My mom, she dropped out of college very young, and then she went back, and now she's got a piece of paper, and that's it. I put down the college that she had went to, and the guidance counselor had the audacity, the absolute gall to look at me and criticize me for it, saying, really? You want to go to that college? No, you dumb bitch. I don't want to go to college at all, and I still don't. Me, as a 20-year-old man, going on 21 in September, all right, I refuse to go to college because I think it is dumb. I think it is not a necessity at this point in time, and I really think about it. I'm probably not going to make it rich regardless. I'm probably going to be living in slumming it conditions, for the rest of my life. And I came to this conclusion very early on because, my family, well, we didn't have, buku money growing up, all right? We were lower middle class, all right? And, I was perfectly fine with that. One of the things that I think sets me apart from a lot of other people is I'm fine with being content. I don't have to keep finding these issues with my surroundings, like my financial surroundings or anything like that. I don't have to keep making issues for that. As long as I've got a roof over my head, as long as I've got enough free time that I can spend it and enjoy life, as long as I can just do as I please, all right, I'm all right. I can live like that. But this is the thing. They try to tell people in school that you aren't going to be able to live any sort of life that is meaningful or fun or enjoyable, and you're going to be breaking your back, doing hard physical labor your entire life if you don't go to college, all right? That is wrong. That is just dumb, all right? Look at it this way. I would wager I'd say I'm on the path to getting my goals done, all right? And what is my goal? Well, my goal is to minimize my expenses, to maximize my free time, and to basically create the foundation for other people in my family, my nephews, who are probably going to be the sole inheritors of all my hoarded wealth on this earth whenever I'm dead, I want to set up a good foundation for them. And I'm not going to college, and I'm not going to tell any of them to go to college. Probably a couple of them will, but really, what are they going to get out of it, all right? A piece of paper that says that they can do something that they probably won't be able to find a job for, and tons of debt. Thousands and thousands of dollars worth of debt. I'm sidestepping that debt. I'm going to try to invest in land. I have invested my money in cryptocurrency. Whenever I get that land, I'm probably going to put like a camper or something on there so that I don't have to spend money to move this trailer out there, you know, because that's a lot of money. Maybe rent this trailer out or something like that, kind of get on that Sigma male grind set. Look, all I'm trying to say is there are ways to live without college, but the teaching apparatus, the teacher community in this country, the educational apparatus exists to perpetuate itself. The colleges are in bed with the high schools and so on and so forth, and they live their entire lives trying to get the young people of this country, the youth of this nation, to try to sell out their souls, sell their time for them, because they will make tons and tons of money. You can't reform this, and if I had my way, I would completely and totally destroy it and replace it with something better, which I might talk about in another video. I digress. I feel like I've ranted on a little bit long enough. It is very hot in this room. It's still just about 80 degrees here at 10:44 at night, 8/12/2021. I am sweating up a storm here, so I think I'll just cut the video off right here. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, well, I do daily uploads. You can subscribe if you'd like to check these out. Why not give this video a like? It definitely helps with the motivation and the algorithm. If you've got any ideas about how we could maybe improve the education system, why not leave a comment about it? You know, I'll check that out. Maybe start a conversation with you. And if you'd like to check out my Twitter, it's twitter.com/Hale_Keezer. That's it for this video. I've been Keezer. I've never been good at outros. I'll see you next time.